I know like Flash Cannon can drop special defense. My arch nemesis, this thing. You quicker? You have earthquake. Uh-oh. Yeah, this might be a problem. This might be the problem. Hello YouTube, welcome back to a new episode of the Electric type Mono Nuzelocking. The one that I promised to do for Project Elise. Technically I made 18 outfits for 18 Pokemon themed outfits for myself. Each corresponded to a Pokemon as theme and of course a type. For case for Electric it was like a circuitry and Christmas theme because I'm a Christmas girl and that sort of stuff. So with that I intentionally let people vote it. After the voting period, Fairy type won, and Fairy type was like the subject of the gym is mine. That's out on my full channel that you can find in the link tree at the bottom of the Sinnoh description. For second place, I decided to do a mono lock on YouTube. I found that so very unique, a little bit of emotes and that sort of stuff. Eventually, I didn't know that like two types would end up as like second place and third place. In case you want to see the ghost monotype run, it's on my YouTube channel in the same playlist as this one. But of course watch this episode first, or in case this is the first episode you watch, go watch the other ones first. Reviews you, and that sort of stuff. Highly recommend that you do, otherwise you don't know when to come. If in case you don't know what the rules are for this electric type mono lock, look down in the description down below. While you're down and subscribe, ring the notification bell. And I'm Preggo Elise, basically, that sort of stuff. But yeah, 5 Pokemons with the rules down below to play through Sinnoh, and can we, with as little loss as possible, basically defeat the Elite Four and that sort of stuff. Also, yeah, this is live recorded on Twitch, so if you want to be part of that, also link down below. And in the last episode, we basically had like a little filler state, like a little chill one, where we did Defog, we did like Celestia Town, we did the Underground. So there was like not much to do, but it's like a 15-minute episode. And now we're gonna do Gym 5. So let's start, because we need Gym 5 to get to Gym 6. What is 3 plus 5 plus 7? 15. I was like, isn't it 12? But I can do math, I can be smart. And that is 40. Is that like right? I'm so smart. I like even one thing I can do, like I'm not creating grammar spelling. Like that's a fun thing, I'm not creating grammar spelling, but like hand calculations. Hey, that's funny. Miko number! But yeah, I'm great at like head calculations. I'm good at math and that sort of stuff. And I think I'm like a beta child. Such stuff. That was 15. T, easy. But like, yeah, basically I think I'm a beta child in the sense of like, I'm good at like, basically, you know, math and that sort of stuff, but I'm bad at spelling and grammar. And usually alpha children are like great at grammar and spelling, but are bad at math and that sort of stuff. Well, so it's a bit like that. That's the reason I always think like I'm a beta child or a beta girl. Yeah, I'm a beta girl. I still have to be released. Seems like to be padded. Zoom lens. Yellow Wisp. I might should have prepared for that, now that I think about it. Really? Does that nerf that so bad? Oh, the aftermath. So yeah, I've been never great at grammar and spelling. Most of my lore I write myself. But if I write my lore, you're a physical attacker. Not a special attacker. I don't know. So mostly when I write my lore, for example, I do write everything first myself. But I use ChatGPT as like spelling and grammar tool. For sure less Pokemon Gengar. Alright. Quicker. Uh-oh. It's the smartest thing to do now. I resist that because it's steep. This still hurts. And yeah, and still, if I use ChatGPT as like, you know, grammar and spelling check, I still double check what ChatGPT writes because I am not the best at writing, but I know AI is also not the best at like understanding what I write. Please don't be confused. So, yeah, that's the thing. And so most of my lore of Flash Cannon is like... But I want to wait for the next one. I was like actually hoping on like that, but like I need Thunderwave, I think. Thunderwave, you don't need Thunderwave. You have Nuzzle. Phantom Force. But yeah, like I've a lot of fun writing my own lore, especially now to tie it like into one. You know, one bit in one timeline and like making like little bits of like references to the old Project Diva games. In sense of like, you know, for example, like including like Project Diva X Clouds and like giving a little hint to like, you know, how to get like the ultimate melody and that sort of stuff. To like, you know, the opening of F2nd, but also to incorporate like Sakai lore. You know, it's not one-on-one lore because basically what I do is I take a card, for example, and base it around that story so that it matches with the twist that I fit in. Because if I take it one-of-one, it gets confuses, Nuzzle, Hard Pulse, play nice. So basically, like, with that, and yeah, like, there's a thing, for example, there with like Sakai is like, Sakai puts its cutscenes up in like line per line, and that sort of stuff, but like, I do it then combined together. For example, if a character has 3 lines after each other, then I combine that together. But like, if I put that to ChatGPT, like, ChatGPT tries to make it more readable, but like also misses the point sometimes. So, like, sometimes I try to like combat that or leave it be. Like, in some cases, if I find that's more readable or, you know, goes better with the flow, then so be it. But otherwise, I tend to like keep it original. Like, for example, today I had cases where it was completely off, but better spelling, so I like try to like pick pieces together. So yeah, if I learned something from like my VTubing career, I think I like creative writing. I think I like story building, world building, and like story writing. Because if I love one thing to do, it is like writing my lore. And that sort of stuff. Being creative and like interpret how things do. Because originally when I started doing my brand new World Sakai, my brand new World Sakai dresses, I wanted to make, a closing bond to the unit. And I kept that idea. But I'm glad to see you're not easy to track down. My grandmother told about what took place in Celestic Town. Thank you for what you did by the ruins. But the Team Galactic, I thought were just a bunch of actors. Talking about them going to make a new uniform in a weird way to dress too. I thought they were harmless. Apparently they are a lot more trouble than I thought. I mean, stealing and hoarding Pokemon just plain gone. Anyway, did you finish the ruin interesting all you did? If you did, you may want to visit the library in Canvilla City. But yeah, like for example, when I had it about Sakai and lore. Yeah, for example, when I started writing, that's also the thing you see back at like Look at Missy Story. When I started writing Look at Missy Story, I had no idea where to go yet. All that it was my first adventure. And throughout like Look at Missy Story, you see for example that like I get closer to the idea of like, Guardian of Identity, Guardian of Sakai's to bring Sakai's more into the lore and that sort of stuff into the picture. And eventually you see, that it is my adventure to godhood, basically my ascension to the goddess of fertility. But also my, how I became a Vocaloid with like the introduction of like the Project Diva X Clouds and that sort of stuff. So. And way more. But. Now with Sakai's, like my brand new world journey when I started, I wanted to be more of like a connection to the unit itself than instead of Miku, because my first dresses were based on Miku's with the idea that like, I was closely connected or aligned to Miku. My bond was the strongest with Miku, and that's the reason my dresses are tied to Miku. And such stuff. Wait, where do I go? Yeah. And because of that reason, I thought, I make them more unit aligned and have a more unit closer look. But throughout like writing, I think eventually like I made like every story close to identity with music, like the impact that music has on you, the impact of a person that you look up to or aspire to become, like idols and that sort of stuff. Through like the battle of like your public image, basically, to like the influence of your parents, to like the transgender side and such stuff. And throughout the time, I was like, why don't I make my brand new world journey about my power as the guardian of identity? The journey about identity, and it's a beautiful thing because I have an interest in psychology. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have an interest in psychology, and that's the reason why I think, like, identity to me is such, like, an interesting place. Because there's so many factors that, like, have an influence on that. So, I know you can, like, get a ditto here, but... And identity, like, psychology on itself, I find it interesting. I love it, and that sort of stuff, but... Yeah. But making my brand new world journey about identity feels fitting, And it gives a reason on why, the stories have been happening and why do I see it through that perspective. But, yeah, that's like the creativity that I feel like I've been in. Hello? Het is jullie pussy onder who I am, yeah. Oh, you're the assistant, Lucas' father. Image of a male and a female Pokemon. Why does it have a 10-year-old have to keep an eye on, like, things? Yeah, like creative writing, story building, world building, lore building is really something that I like. And I think I'm gonna find it sad once I finish my brand new world journey lore. Because that means I don't have lore to write besides V3. No, even V3, my version 3 dress. Or my version 3 lore has already been done. Basically. And such stuff. So. You have 5 pokenons? Such stuff, but like even that is already done. Like I have thought about like making like short stories for you know, my Pokemon dresses on what inspired this Elise to become this trainer, but like all my dress stories, even my Sakai stories, are based on me entering the Sakais and what a double team. Being there. It's not that a copy of me enters the Sakai, you know, and lives as a Vocaloid. No, it's me entering the Sakais. And that sort of stuff. So even if I want to do like Pokemon stories, I don't know if I will do that. Like writing lore for, you know, my 18 outfit types. But on the other hand, I guess like a little story behind. Like what made like Elise an electric type trainer? What made Elise like a normal type trainer? What made Elise a bug type trainer? And that sort of stuff. And I think if you make it like if you made that sort of like mini story on why this version of me becomes an electric type trainer, then I think it will be really interesting to do. But like, I don't think it fits. Like the idea of like Project Elise Mon for like 18 type of outfits based around the 18 Pokemon types in the game. Mind you, this was before Stellar type was a thing. Oh yeah, I also have to make a Stellar type outfit. Jesus. But 18 outfits, 18 Pokemons, and the winner becomes like, as stated, the type that I will play to in the gym is mine. That became eventually very tight, but like, I never went in with the idea that like, you know, I have to make lore for it. And such stuff, because, yeah, why would I not? Why would I not make lore for it? Like, the thing is, I never went in with the intention for it to be a lore. If you get what I mean. But quicker? Burned also cake. I never had the intention, like within Project Elise Mon, to make lore. I'm not surviving in another flame wheel. Yeah. But that sort of stuff. So I never would like with the intention with making lore, but like on the other hand, now I think it would be fun, like a little story on why this Elise became like, you know, became like an electric type trainer, or this Elise became like a normal type trainer. It might be fun, but that would be a lot of work. And I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of work in 2026 or a lot of time. If you get what I mean. Like I'm going, like I said, to like a sort of like daytime thing to learn or to work on my soft skills and hard skills. And I think once I go there, that I'll lose 2 days of work that I normally do. Normally I come out of bed, you know, I wake up, you know, have breakfast. Once I'm behind my PC, I just chill a bit more, you know, let the coffee sink in. And usually when I publish my video and done my daily thing, my own thing, then I go to... Basically, I do my thing of like, you know, I start writing lore, updating it, or... Yeah, I start writing lore, I start pushing it in the Discord and such stuff, but... That's all gonna be gone later. and that's all gonna be like I'll lose 2 days and such stuff. You have leak sheet? And like I think in the last year, since I'm jobless, I like had a lot of time to work on my content creation. But I feel also like that I'm happy with where it is now and such stuff, and that I don't need that much free time anymore. If you get what I mean. That was -4 defense. It's like a -4 defense. And such stuff. So like, yeah, I'm happy with where it is, but like, if I'm gonna write lore with like, you know, 18 outfits, even if it's a mini story, then yeah, it's a lot of work piled up. With like, even with the version 3 thing that is. Like, on the other end, for example, I promised like Preggo reference sheets for every outfit that I have, or that I'm gonna eventually upload. And the idea is like, I'm gonna do that on point, but for now I've not done that. Like, basically for all of it, so far, I have not made it. I've only made normal reference sheets. And I did make like a Preggo Vtuber comment in my bot in my Discord, in case people wanted to look, you know, how my Preggo Vtuber model looked. But on the other hand, like, I feel like if I wanna like do Preggo reference sheets, I wanna like learn how to better pose in Blender and make nicer pics. But I feel like I'm too lazy to learn that. That sort of stuff. But the thing is, like, for example, that's the thing with like that I like about Vroid, is in comparison to Blender, and makes me go easier to do like a reference sheet in Vroid instead of like Blender. Is the reason that in Vroid, if you go into the picture section, they always follow the camera. You can like toggle that command. In Blender, not. So if in Vroid I turn my character 50 degrees right, you still will look 50 degrees right to the cam, which makes like a picture nicer and more personal. It's sort of like if I turn the camera 50 degrees and the character only turns like this, for example, you know? So that more. And then that's the reason I'm like tend to like not tend to have like or want to do pictures in Blender, but that's the sort of thing. But yeah, on the other hand, like on the other hand, I feel like I'm at a good place where I am about content creation, or like the lineup, like or like the lineup that I have now, or my ideas like coming together good. Hey, if I'm gonna give you a fighting type move, I should give you the first plate. And I should give you a citrus berry. Because that's what I'm thinking I'm not gonna do. So yeah, eventually with content, I wanna go and stay with like the Preggo Vtuber and like the goddess of fertility reproduction. And my lore is gonna get that upgraded, like needs it basically. Like, I need psychic still. Then I can need psychic. After this you have the steel type gym, you have, I know you have a bug, ground, I think psychic, and ghost, elite 4. If I remember it correctly. Was it like, Unless I can rebuy Psychic. It was like the 7th gym again. Oh yeah, that was the Ice type gym. Like, I know it's Bug Ground, and I know there is a Psychic with Lucian, and I know you have Cynthia. I forgot like the 3rd one. I know it's a Fire type with like 2 Pokemon. Fire types. It was a Fire type one. No, I don't really need Psychic anymore. Do I need to go first to the library or not? No. I don't think I do. The Steel type gym. But yeah, my content was, I think, as the path I'm gonna go with like Boulders of Fertility, pregnant VTuber. I want to keep going until 2026 and onwards. But I think the tone where up it goes now is gonna slow down as I go back into normal life. And who knows, by the time this video releases, I'm like hormonal therapy. That didn't do shit. Didn't do shit. I know it's not stab, but still. Don't doze off on me. If you doze off and go sleepy, you go into the pit. You have bulldoze? Okay, I like that, but like if you fall asleep, then you go into the pit. I thought Rock Smash will do more. You have to think, maybe Steelix defense is like too great, but like I have a belt and that sort of stuff, or an item that boosts my power move. Yeah, content-wise, I think I'm gonna go as keep going. Like, of course, over time, most of my outfits will receive the version 3 Booba upgrade, even my Pokemon outfits, and I will upgrade the art once that comes, and that sort of stuff. And there might be like a little bit of lore coming as long as well, but that will take some time. Oh no, this is the wrong one, right? A mandatory battle. Yeah. The Goddess of Fertility, Preggo, Elise. The thing is, like, also, like, I never really talk with people outside of my content creation, and there's more the indeed of, like, the pregnant VTuber thing. But on the other hand, like, I have recently, like, the thing is where I doubt so much about is, on the other hand, I want to be seen as a Preggo, but on the other hand, I'm hiding the fact that I want to be seen as this way, if you get what I mean. Like, for example, I have as my background that art piece that I got from Gaia, basically that I commissioned with Rashi by Gaia, my girlfriend, where, you know, where I am pregnant, sitting in a chair, she pets my belly, and that's my laptop background. But for example, when I go to that day thing, you know, the day working thing, your day side, I have like thought of like, you know, if I take my own laptop with me, do I remove my background? If you get what I mean. Do I remove my own background to hide the fact that I'm a pregnant VTuber? Or do I finally go over the barrier to talk to people on the fact that I'm a content creator? Because for example, my like government stuff also doesn't know still that I do content creation. And content creation is one of my hobbies, one of my passions. But yeah, if they ask me what do you do, Elise? Games. I game. And that sort of stuff. And I think also that's a bit of a problem. Because like, I didn't think I have passion for work anymore. or my coach realized that, and I admit that. I don't think I have like interest in going to work because like I make enough to live on my own and that sort of stuff. With government funds, of course, from government funds. And if I go to work, you know, I like trade in a lot of free time that I have now that I can spend on my passion, my hobby, which I'm basically turning into my work now. And in comparison to work, to like maybe like earn a little bit more. Yeah, if I go to work and make my own thing, you know, make my own income. Yeah, I do develop skills. I do develop, you know, I do develop skills. I learn how to like develop myself. I do get like a bigger paycheck, and I do like. Wait, you say this was not needed? Huh? But like, even if I do that, like, I get my paycheck, but like, the main thing I think for me to work is the reason. I get like financial stability. I am not like bound to rules anymore. I'm not bound to like necessities or things that I have to do. For example, you know, go to like meetings, go to trainings and that sort of stuff. Now I can do what I want. But I cost the fact of my free time that I have now that I can spend on my passion. And I think my most struggle is there. But yeah, I think I have to learn how to live with that. And I think if I like am at this state dating and having fun and really learn, you know, if I do that, I think that like missing those 2 days of free time is not really needed. And I'm still thinking that like I'm not gonna change my background if I take my own laptop with me. Purely with the fact that like at one point they're gonna ask what do you do, I'm gonna say if I only game, no, but like if I'm gonna tell our skills in Photoshop and video editing, they're gonna like, why do you have skills in video editing? You know? And I think it's a good, maybe like, the thing I'm doubt about, if like, the thing I'm doubt the most about, like, I think it's a good place to start testing, to see how I handle it and how people react. Of course, not everyone will react the same. This Phoenix is just setting up on me, and I hate it. Although of course not everyone reacts the same, but if I can just chill, deal with the fact that like people see me as the Preggo Vtuber and that sort of stuff, then I think like a lot of will be the good like first step. You know what I mean? If I can like chill, deal with the fact that people like if people are chill with the fact that I'm a Preggo Vtuber, then I think I have set the first step into my true identity and like removing my insecurity. But on the other hand, now you're gonna do ice fan after setting the up thing. Like on the other hand, if I do that and people notice and they react really weird and they want to interact with me, and you know my worst fear there is not even what the people do there or say to me. No, it is more the fact of like. The fact that it gets leaked to like my government stuff. Like that's the thing. I don't want her to like know it because I feel like if like my coach knows that like I'm a pregnant VTuber online, you know, then I feel like she's gonna like declare me crazy. On the other hand, if she declares me crazy, she might gonna like be like, she might gonna like, Elise, you're gonna get a checkup if you're like work ready, and that's also like in a mental state more. And, you know, maybe I like get disapproved and don't have to work forever anymore. You know, it can also work 2 ways up. You know, that would be funny. Like, you know, like, in the Netherlands, we have a way to say if you're like, there are people who like check if you're ready to work, like and stable to work. Like for example, if you break your leg, you can't really do anything that requires you to stand a lot or move a lot. So at a point, there is like a point where you're like not approved for work anymore and that sort of stuff. And once you're not approved for work anymore, you get like special funds and you don't have to go search for work. It will be funny if I like try to hide my, my content creation side because of like the fear for the opinion about the pregnant Vtuber. And I finally get the courage to show it and like tell about it. And then the moment I do, people call me crazy, and that moment it gets linked to my, government stuff. It's the moment like people call me crazy and I'm like in disapprove for work. I don't think that will be happen. I think I will get a good conversation about like Elise, what is this like pregnant VTuber thing, and such stuff. But yeah, besides that, I don't think there's like really that much to like improve on. Like, I think I have to do it once. As such, but I don't want to get there because, like, that leaves an empty place. I have to fight those two people, right? Yeah. So, like, it would be funny if I, like, I show my pregnant VTuber and people be like, okay, and then, like, it gets leaked to my work, like, government stuff, and my government is like, Elise, are you crazy? We're gonna, like, mentally check you if you're stable for work. And she's like, am I disconnecting? Am I? Huh. I think I'm not disconnecting. But like, yeah, it will be funny if like after that talk she's like, we're gonna mentally check you and it will be like, I'm not stable for work. I don't know by the way how that works if you like move from country to country. This is the reason I want to go back. Because I'm running out of rock smash PP. But yeah, like, I think it's a good start and a good way to start to like the thing is I go to therapy to accept who I am. And I am a person who likes to have a big baby bump. I like to be pregnant or like to look pregnant at least. Like, I like to be pregnant and I like to look pregnant. I like to have a big baby bump. And that sort of stuff. So I think that's a good place to start. Because in the end, what I do in my free time is content creation. And by... Do you have rest? Like, by accepting the reason I go to therapy, by accepting the fact that I talk to people about the fact that I'm a content creator and might be a pregnant content creator, I think I will, like, heal a lot. You get what I mean? Or start the healing process, the process that I need, the courage. Now, I'm not gonna say that I'm going there, with a big baby bump every day, but like, you get what I mean. If I can talk about it, that's a first good step. And if I just can like do my thing there, upload videos, upload stream announcements over my own laptop and just have my background there, showing that like I have a big belly, then yeah. I think I will be happy. Because it's like the thing that I do, and as I said, I don't talk with like people about my content creation purely of the fear of judgment or like the opinion of others. While on the other hand, it's something I like to do. It's something that I like to do, but it's also something that I really enjoy. And yeah, I see myself with a big baby bump. In my ideal world, I will always have a big baby bump, but like an ideal world doesn't exist. No. Yeah. And I think that will be a challenge to at least talk about with like the counselors there, or the the guardians, basically. The people who like guide you, coach you, you know, when my coach is there. On that day thingy, but... But like that's something to learn about. Like on the other hand, I can make the worst decision of my life. I can show there that like I'm a pregnant Vtuber and people like are so unhappy with me and like call me so crazy. Like I talked with my coach after like Tuesday and she was like, if you say no, at least to this, I want you to like really well, you know, really well or clearly make your argument well. So have a really good argument on why you don't want to do this. Imagine coming there, like. Or like after like that Tuesday and be like, I have a problem. I really like it, but they don't accept me anymore. So I was like, what did you do, Elise? Well, I just bought my laptop and I just showed my back, I showed my backend of my Vtuber, and they didn't really like that. Is that speed that? You know, and they didn't like that, apparently. Why is your Vtuber so weird then that they didn't like it? Just me and my girlfriend and I'm pregnant, you know? Elise? Yeah? Why do you have like a picture of you pregnant with your girlfriend? Can I have like a picture of me and my girlfriend however I want? My computer, my laptop? Elise? Sometimes you need to like... Nobody wants to take a dig. But like Elise, nobody wants to like see you pregnant. Yeah, I know, but like I'm not gonna change my background because I'm going to a day institute. Like, if I'm going there with my laptop, I'm not gonna change my background because, like, that laptop that place in. If I would have their customers. Steelix is starting to annoy me. Steelix is annoying me. But yeah, like, on the other hand, like, it's me. And I think it's time to accept that. And I think it's a good place to start. And the fuck does Pichu level up? We're going Pikachu. I don't have PP like PP maxers. So yeah, that's my life. The struggle of being a pregnant Vtuber. I know I have to fight so many people in this content gym. I have to fight so many people in this gym. That's not a steel type. Hello? Before you're gonna scream in the comments, yeah, I know Onyx is not a steel type, but I get Onyx. You know, Onyx is the pre-evolution of Steelix. And such stuff. So like, I would get Onyx, but what the fuck is a Zoomeril? I want to heal on the Poke Center, but like, such a long walk back. I forgot how many Pokemon you have to fight. Like, finish you have to fight here. Go this way. Oh. But yeah, that's my life. I know. Hey, I know. I chose it for myself to be a pregnant Vtuber, but I don't regret that choice. If you get what I mean. Like, in the end, you can say maybe I shouldn't become a pregnant Vtuber, then I don't have this problem. But in the end, I think like making this choice is the better choice that I had in my life. Like, yeah, I lost people, I lost viewers. I lost friends that I thought, or I lost people that were thought, like I lost people that I thought were friends, I lost viewers, that's of course correct, and that can happen. But in the end, I'm happy with what I do, and if I'm happy as a pregnant VTuber, then so be it, you know? I think, like, you know, I'd rather have like 2 people watching and enjoying my content than like 200 people because like I have a good VTuber design. If a pregnant VTuber design gives me 2 people that enjoy my content, that's 2 people for me enough. I will do this as long as 1 people gets a smile on their face. I will, as long as that keep content creation, even if it's like as the pregnant VTuber and like people be like, oh, you have a baby at Pump Elise? Yeah, my goal is a fertility, bitch. My goal is a fertility. You know, if I drop to be fertile. Take care of that in the land. Why do I fight you? I did run into him. Let me guess, you have a Steelix. Oh, an Onyx. I know he had like a Bastion, and like a Steelix, but I forgot those other Pokemon were on Pokemon. Why did I run into him? Like, I didn't have to fight him. This is like not a mandatory trainer. Like, out of the whole gym, I don't think this is the only like non-mandatory trainer that I fight. I mean, I get the money. And with the money, I can probably buy a nice dress next episode. But yeah, as content creator, of course, you have like I do pre-record a lot, like this stream, for example. And yeah, I think like I said, I do this with a passion, but I also know that I have a girlfriend that lives in Italy and comes over again. I do notice like the time strain of like pre-recording a lot, and I have always thought, should I stop pre-recording a lot and focus more on quality? Which of course I've been doing and improving. But instead of, you know, like, I have 5 videos a week. Technically 6 if you look at it. And I always thought, should I like focus more on like quality instead of over quantity, if you get what I mean, and like make it 2 videos, like 1 let's play, 1 horror games, or not 2 horror games and like 1 Project Diva or 2. Like Project Diva is not really to improve on quality, like it depends on the mod that you use, but Project Diva is not really the quality to improve on. But like on a horror game, for example, more editing and that sort of stuff, but I mean, like, I'm not at a spot where I can take this full time. Now I can because I don't have a job. But if I would have a job and, you know, I would record a video a day and edit the video and upload it the same day, then yeah, that's not possible. But like, I love doing this and I want to do it more. I don't more down here. Oh no, this is just... Over Jim Bitch, and I see you defeated my son. There's no surprise too much to learn the place of my son, Lork. I Brian will accept your challenge. I don't accept your challenge. Yeah, I think like for example with this, like doing, like that's like the fun of streaming. I can stream, have like a little bit of fun, and record multiple videos at once, and like butcher that idea of like leaving behind. Hey, cool. Now it's quicker than me. I know, like, Flash Cannon can drop special defense. My arch nemesis, this thing. You quicker? You have earthquake. Uh-oh. Yeah, this might be a problem. This might be the problem. It's quicker. No. We have 30. And it might be a problem. And you have Thunder Fang. Oh, you avoided the attack. Maybe this like ball is more lucky than I thought. Burned. Ooh. Wait, I'm quicker now. Oh, Earthquake is gonna be a problem. I forgot that like Steelix had Earthquake. But it's on the timer. I'm not with one shot. Wait, that'd be quicker. I'm Pachirisu. That didn't do anything. I think the next guess not will kill. Oh, restore! No! Oh, I'm gonna lose. Because this thing is gonna earthquake me into oblivion. I'm gonna lose. I have like no. I have nothing about Pichu because like. I can try to use it to nerf it, but like I don't think Pichu can do anything. Still quicker than Steelix? Nah, Steelix is slow. Sorry, Pichu, you had to be a sacrifice. I forgot the earthquake on Steelix. That doesn't do anything. There's a -5 earthquake. That is like 20. Then a little bit more than 20. Is that a high roll? I'm dead. Because one more earthquake and I'm dead. But because basically I have to defeat another Pokemon after this, huh? Well, in a sense, sure. Unless this flinches. Of course not. I completely forgot Earthquake on like Steelix, and that boned me over. Like, I think it's time that I go like search for that Thunderstone. Because like, I think I need the special attack of like Magnum Zone. Oh wait, I lost, by the way. Like, I lost. Like, I think I need like the special attack of Magna Zone and then like Magnetize to get through that. But yeah, you need to be lucky. All the walls spotment are like here. Are there any? Ja, probably something like that spot then. Distance fair, yay! Is this still the big count or? Oh, this is a separate one again. Huh. Like, where do you get the Thunderstone then? Like, let's go probably more still lining game. I didn't get everything, but still. And I want these things, I want the Thunderstone! Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this episode and do this like on my own time. Which I'm probably gonna forget and don't have time. Like, at least Friday and Sunday, not like. Do I have time for this to do? No, not really. Time to do this on the week. I don't think I really have to do this time to do this on the week. I don't defeat the gym. Like, yeah, Earthquake Steelix is gonna be a problem. And Earthquake Steelix is gonna be a physical wall. Like, I know Earthquake fighting, like, ground fighting moves are probably my best things, but I don't think any of my Pokemon can learn that. And such stuff. Like, I don't think my Pokemon can learn that. Because I think it's Earth of Fighting. Pink. I wanna know further. psychic. The only thing in this wall? Like, yeah, I have Magnemind with legndarys, but I don't think I have like the way to defeat. Because I would have set up, I have to set it up on like Steelix, basically. Such stuff. But if I set it up on Bronzong, like I have to set up on Bronzong to have it on Steelix, but I have to defeat Bronzong with like no effective move. Let's do this round and call it a day. Where are my evolution stones? I want my evolution stones. This Preggo needs evolution stone. But like for example with like the Preggo Vtuber, like a part of this is like a part of that is also I want to actually be called Preggo. You know, it's one of my Neo pronouns. Because I feel like I get happy when people call me Preggo. You know, I get a little sparkle when people call me girl, but more when people call me Preggo. And such a stuff. So that's why I have to have a Neo pronoun. I don't want it as gender, no, really as Neo pronoun. Is that a revive? Is that a max revive? You can find a max revive in here? Yeah, max revive, hold on. Didn't know that. But yeah, like that's the same thing. Like I don't like I'm not gonna go out there and say to people like, yeah, call me Preggo. You know, instead of like Zyhar. Or she, her. No, she, her, they, them. Not a book one. Not a book one, good woman. And yeah, I want to be called Preggo. Or because I like being called Preggo, you know, I get a little spark of joy, happiness. But yeah, I'm not gonna go out there to people and say, you know, call me Preggo. It feels weird, because I'm not pregnant. Not yet, but... You get what I mean? That's like also a part of me that like is actually thinking... I want to be called like one way, or like I'm starting to accept that this is part of who I am, but like on the other hand, I'm like still pushing it away. Because it doesn't fit in the bound of society. Or like the image of society, basically. And I know, as I said, I know I shouldn't like have to go out and push it onto people. But in sense of like, you know, I'm not gonna go out there with a bum, I'm not gonna force people to call me Preggo if they don't want to. But This you saying you only want to be called. Hey, an electric one! Oh, finally. That was everything? Wow. We got an electric statue for once. The joke. The fucking joke, of course. Get me a statue of the Pokemon that I'm trying to get. Or need. It's just like a sign that in the next one I will find like an electric type zone. This one's fighting. Huh, I guess I didn't find anything. A champ. Huh. Yeah, like, that's also a thing that would, like, but yeah, go out to people, like, and be like, yeah, I want to be called Preggo. Now, people are gonna find me crazy, but, like, people already find me crazy on monorun. Oh yeah, but yeah, that's my life. Preggo Vtuber life. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one. I have to like figure out how to deal with I have to deal with those stealings because like on the other hand I have to go to the underground probably to get like the thunderstone. You know, on one hand, since we're here, like I can real quick check if he can get like to that city, but like yeah, I'm gonna leave it here otherwise because I think I'm gonna next episode spend an hour and 10 minutes for this one. I'm gonna leave it here indeed. I'm gonna say it like this: I'm Preggo Elise, your goddess of fertility, goddess of reproduction, your pregnant Vtuber on the internet. You know, Preggo they, she, if you wanna talk about my pronouns and about what I've been talked about the last episode, or hour or so. I don't wanna battle! What? Push je druk daarheen. But yeah, I primarily focus on Project Div and Horror on my channel, so if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. But I also do a lot of Let's Plays, including this one, like a Pokemon Electric type monologue. I have in the past also done a Pokemon Electric Ghost monologue, Pokemon Sword Ghost monologue. So if you want to see that, make sure to check my channel out. I like this for something else on my channel, but yeah, I'm your pregnant Vtuber. If you liked what you saw, make sure to check out the previous episodes in the series. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you want to join my Discord, link is at the link tree at the bottom of the video description. This link tree also can be found in my channel description and that sort of stuff. Yeah, but in that link tree you find my Discord, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Luska in case you don't want to use Discord and want to stay up to date. Best place is still Discord. I'm the most active there. You can talk to me and that sort of stuff. You keep up to date and you get more updates and better updates there. But also same with other socials there. My Twitch channel is there. My Twitch and YouTube Plus channel is there. My Ko-fi and Patreon is there in case you want to support me a little bit more. And with that, I'm gonna say, have a wonderful night, have a wonderful week. But first, you know, let's check out if I can go to the right, because otherwise, I have to think about that Magnemite then. Let's first check that before I say goodbye and have a great night. Yeah, I can do that on my own, and if it's not, then you see that in the next episode, but like, that guy's still there? That guy's still there, so no. So yeah, with that I'm gonna say have a wonderful night, have a great night, and until next time, bye.